large group breaking through the fence surrounding the statue of former President Andrew Jackson.
Would you shut up, man?
And Corn Pop was a bad dude.
Have you ever seen what a totalitarian government-controlled country looks like? Have you ever lived in one? Have you ever physically seen one with your own eyes without actually turning on the news or looking in a history book? What are some of the signs that you're actually living in the grips of a despotic ruler or rulers? Because it's never just one person. The one person is always the figurehead, but it has many different moving parts, many different people that play a role and function in the furtherance of this despotic system, in the furtherance of an agenda, oftentimes against the people themselves. While the news and everything may look peaches and cream, crimsons and clovers, because that's the propaganda machine of every country that has this kind of a government in place. Well, you don't have to look no further than Washington, D.C. Have you seen it lately? It looks like fucking Beirut. Or it looks like Idi Amin Dada just moved into the White House when he was in control. Or how about Muammar Gaddafi? Saddam Hussein? Pol Pot? Any of them. You could just pull out all kinds of names of any third world dictatorship. And that's what we got going on right now if you take a look at it. We have a president or dictator that is just controlling the government all by himself. One executive order after another, he's breaking a record. It's like somebody needs to take the pins away from his ass. But it's not only him, he's the figurehead, as I said. It's the forces that are behind him that are pushing all of these agendas his way. So now what's going on? Well, the Supreme Court has ruled that Donald Trump's tax records are definitely on the table now. Now anybody can see them. It's big news. It's the silver bullet. It's the nail in the coffin, everything that they're calling it. But let me ask you a question. Do you honestly believe that they're going to find anything in there to convict this man? They're not. You want to know why? Because if that was the case, it would have been done a long time ago. Because trust and believe. The IRS already knows what's in those tax returns to begin with. Don't you think that they would have revealed some nasty secret? Nothing's going to come of it, but it's all a dog and pony show. All these optics, all of these false flags, this agenda, this propaganda that's being spewed out of Goebbels, Google, and all the rest of the mainstream lapdogs that are feeding this frenzy, keeping us divided. There's no kind of unity being pushed. None whatsoever. Ted Cruz takes his girls to Cancun and all of a sudden it's a fucking catastrophe. But remember when Nancy Pelosi was getting her hair done? That got no kind of airtime. The hypocrisy. And people wonder why I've taken the stance that I've taken. It's only obvious. When you have a media bias that only reports one half of the smut, refuses to report the other half, somebody like me has to call them on it because nobody else will. Nobody has the balls. So why do I say that we're living in a totalitarian system? It's the beginning stages of one, and it's only going to get worse. All these false flags and all this BS conspiracy theory bullshit that they're spinning, and yet they call me the tinfoil hat king. Now they're reporting that right-wing extremists, insurrectionists are going to blow up the Capitol. So we got to keep the military presence, the barbed wire, the pillboxes, and everything else that they got in there, missiles and rocket launchers and Humvees rolling around and all that stuff. Because of the insurrectionists, they're going to blow up the Capitol, people. You remember on Inauguration Day These Proud Boys and these Oath Keepers and all the rest of them, QAnon was going to be a mass uprising, a crusade of sorts. They were going to invade every single capital. They were going to rush the inauguration. They were going to do all of these things, and none of that happened. Guess what? It actually happened in the opposite direction. Yeah, Antifa had a protest and burnt some shit down and damaged some property on inauguration night in Portland. So what happened to this big mass right-wing uprising? But here they are. They're pushing it again. Once again, they're pushing it down our throats as if it's real, and it's not. There's none of that going on. It's all bullshit. Meanwhile, what else is going on? Well, if you've been paying attention to the news, we just bombed Syria. And if you've also been paying attention to the news, the minimum wage increase that was supposed to be in the COVID relief bill, not going to happen. As if they didn't know it was going to happen anyways. They took complete control of the government. The Democratic Party did. They have the House. They have the Camel Joe Kamala tiebreaker in the Senate. What do you mean we can't get a minimum wage increase? Because they never wanted to give it to us. And don't hold your breath on a $1,400 check. Don't hold your breath on anything outside of maybe another couple $100. I mean, we need to spend more money on gender studies in Pakistan. We need to bail out the economy of the Sudan. We need to build a wall in Jordan to keep illegal immigration out from Syria. We need to fix the Smithsonian. We need to give Amazon more money. We need to help everybody but the people of this country, the backbone of this country, the working class man and woman that makes it what it is. You get nothing. You never get anything. Just be thankful you are what you are in the eyes of a lot of their optics. Many of you. Not all of you, but many of you. So they're bombing Syria without question. No questions about it. You look at the news and they're just like eyes lit up bright. Our president, Biden, just took out an Iranian-supported militia group in Syria. You remember what happened when Trump did the bombing? What the backlash was. Oh, he's going to get us in all these wars. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. People got to start understanding what this hypocrisy is, what it's really all about. What's going on? Where's your minimum wage increase? Where's your other stimulus check? Is there any relief even forthcoming in all of this? Why are we bombing Syria? Why? And how do we know we're even bombing the right people over there? I mean, these people completely botched Iraq and fighting ISIS to begin with. Now we're poking around over there. The news has been put out. We're staying in Afghanistan. We might be going back to Iraq in larger numbers. We're probably going to be all up in Syria. Many other countries. And guess what comes from that? There's been no chatter or no talks of any kind of Al-Qaeda funded or Iranian-backed terrorist attacks on U.S. soil. But with this open arms thing that's going on in this new government, they're welcoming it in. They want it to come in. They want another terrorist attack to hit. But I promise you this, that if Al-Qaeda or ISIS or any of them do a terrorist attack in this country, remember that I said this. They'll blame it on the Proud Boys, the Oath Keepers, white supremacists, you name it. Whoever really did it won't be known, but they want this to happen. Because right now we're in the middle of a purge. Anybody that doesn't have their mindset in place, their sheep mindset, you're going to be purged. You're a libertarian like myself, you're going to be purged. You're a Republican, conservative, you're going to be purged. You're a Christian, you got something coming. And this ain't right-wing propaganda, people. These are the facts. You need to start taking a look at what's going on around you. These people are moving chess pieces around, and nobody's even noticing what's going on. All the shit that happened in Texas, they politicized it. This whole COVID thing, it's still being politicized. In the beginning, it was a means to the end of Donald Trump. That's the whole reason why they let it spread. That's the whole reason why they stopped any kind of action to prevent the spread coming into this country at the rate it did. But you already know, conservatives, people on the right, Trumpers or Trump himself or any of them, anytime you throw racism at them, they clam up. Oh, well, okay, we won't shut the country down. You want to know what I would have done? You go ahead and call me a bigot. I don't give a fuck. I'm shutting the fucking country down, so suck my dick. That's what I would have said at the press conference. I don't care what they say or what they think. I'm shutting the whole fucking thing down. I've got a few Marines at my disposal. Any boat that attempts to dock will be blown out of the water. Any plane that attempts to land will be blown out of the sky. I don't care who's on it. This is a complete shutdown of a possible pandemic infecting our people. We need to take our interests at heart. You want to call me a bigot? You want to call me Hitler, Mussolini, whoever? So be it. But I'm taking the unpopular measures to keep all of us safe. You'll thank me in the end. That's what they should have did and walked away. Mic drop, walk out. With a middle finger up in the face of these media hounds. But they didn't do that. Now here we are. 500,000 and growing, and people that have died in this pandemic biological weapon foisted upon us by a laboratory, a so-called accident, but it never was. All these distractions and all this poverty and misery and everything that's going on around us. Look at the bigger picture. Now we're attacking Syria. We're getting ready to vamp up more troops and more things going into the Middle East. Nothing else matters. All these businesses that were burned down over the summer, they're not going to be fixed. They're not going to be repaired. They're not going to be restored. Your lives are not going to be made better over all of this. There's no health care plan forthcoming. There's no minimum wage now. So what is there? Where's this big change that we've been hearing about? Where's the unity? When they're still making invisible phantom enemies out of Christians, people on the right, conservatives, and libertarians. Everyone that should be identified as an enemy is identifying enemies for us. But we just continue to sit back and take it. Like I said, this channel will call out bullshit on both sides every day of the week. Why can they not have the same integrity? You need to ask your politicians, what business do we have in Syria? Why are we there? Why are we blowing shit up? Why are we still in Afghanistan? You're never going to change these people. Why are we on our way to Iraq? Why are we doing what we're doing with Saudi Arabia and all that shit? Don't you want to have at least one ally in the region? At least one? I mean, it's slim pickings. You're not going to find Gandhi over there. Or Haile Selassie. You're not going to find any of these people. Mother Teresa's not over there. They're all dictators. This is the world we live in. You think it's only bad in the United States? There's much more vicious people that are outside of these borders than you think. And they're running shit. But sometimes you got to get in bed with evil to fight evil. It's that old metaphor of Solomon. He used a shade demon to cut through the stone in order to make the temple. Don't mean to get biblical on you, but you know what I'm saying. See you in the next one.